with that one, let's pass to the main topic of the day. I will let Jose do a migration, and Jose will do it as conservative as possible. He will try to change as little as possible on your CS project and everything else. And then we're going to create a new project in Blazor, a new project window, and do that migration as well. And then let's discuss together. Like if you have any corner case, if you have a model that is not supported, like we can talk about the recommendation that we will use there. And we also have Dennis here in the chat. So if we like say something that we could do better, more probably he will actually correct us right there. So Jose, please,
Okay.
the screen is yours.
Okay, let me share. And I'm in that difficult situation where when you only have like one monitor. So let's try to do it like this. Okay, guys. So basically, this here I have like two tests. These I mean, I worked on them before, but we're going to start from the scratch today. Basically, what we have here, and I'm going to make a copy of this, and we're going to name it Meetup, is the main demo. And it's actually a kind of old demo in the sense that, let's check, is version 18. So let me load this in the studio so you can see it. Okay, so basically, this is the main demo that comes with the DevExpress installer, the universal installer. And in this case, I'm using like kind of old version, it's version 18. So at that moment, let me show you a module, for example. The module was targeting or is targeting 452. And also this type of project is not the SDK type of project. If you double click it, nothing happened. Actually, just expand the project. So if you unload it, you will see the structure. So C is an MSC build type of project. You can see it here. So we're going to migrate all of these to SDK, and even we will like migrate the web application. That web application are not officially supported by the SDK tool, but there is a way to do it manually, and there is an open source MS Build type of tool that will help you to move from this format to the SDK format. So let's start. Let me close all of this and let me show you the links.
And it's good to mention also that the new SDK is so clean. If you see that MS Build, there are so many tags there. It's crazy the amount of
I think they're not defaults in the MS Build version, so they have to be explicit about everything in general. So that's why it's so big. So let's start. I will use this tool. I already have it installed, and basically it's a .NET tool type of CLI command. So as you can see, is like this is how you install it, and this is the command that you have to run. In this case, they're migrating just a project, so we're going to migrate the solution completely. So I will copy this, and I will go to the folder, and let me type CMD.
And the idea of the tool is that it makes your life easier. But if you want to go manually, hand by hand, copy in each folder, you are welcome to do it. It will give you more like a idea of what is everything that is happening there.
Yeah. So let's do main demo solution. So it's going to ask you for a few things. We don't want to create backup. You should create backup, but in this case, we are not going to. And if I like to modernize the project, and the answer for that is yes. And I don't want to create backup before I modernize. So far, so good. Let's go to the studio and let's reload the project. So you will see some of the changes. And in here, I'm going to load also the mobile module because I don't need it. It's not supported anymore. It's something that is legacy. So let me reload this. And what else should I unload? I will unload this too. and this one. Okay, so if we close all the windows, let's see what happened with the module. If you double click, this is the SDK type of project. So as Javier said, like this type of projects can be like a little bit more simple, but in this case, basically it sets the same defaults that it found on the original project. We can delete a lot of this, but in this case, I'm not going to do it because I don't know how your project is set up. So it might likely look like this. So you can like figure out what you need or what you don't, like taking some stuff out. But for the moment, I will leave it like this. So let me put this somewhere here. Okay, so let's check the migration nodes. So for all the projects, we have to run this tool, and this is the command. We already showed that. And then let's start with the module. So for the module, basically what we're going to do is include these few tags that we have here. So I'm going to copy them. And first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to replace the DLLs with nuggets instead. So let's try to find the DLL section, which is this one here. I will collapse it and goodbye. And we paste this. And if you can see, like we're referencing basically all the agnostic nuggets packages for this project and the configuration manager. So let's save this. And then we also add this, and we will add this into all the projects that we don't want to generate the assembly information. So the assembly information, we can basically delete it. So from the properties folder, you just delete this. And we're going to do another change. We're going to change the target value of the framework. So in this case, it's 452, which is a little bit old. So we move to 462. So this is able to be compatible with the standard in general. So let's try to build it. And let's hope the demo goats are kind with us today. So, good. So far, so good. So now let's go to the web project, and we're going to do basically the same. Hey, what happened with this? It only converted once. Okay, let me run the tool again.
So Josh is showing how we're converting the CS Pro to the new SDK that is needed. But also good to mention that when we're going to add a Blazor there, so we're going to put the module in Net Standard 2, not to 1, because Net Framework won't recognize, it won't recognize the Net Standard 2+1. And of course, now with Net 5, it will be Net 5, the actual better solution. Because, but we want to mention all of those because I know that there are still some suffers that are not Net Core 3 2.1. There are some, again, not everyone is in the latest and greatest.
Let's see what happened here. Let's copy this again. And okay, we don't want to create backup. We want to modernize. We want to create backup, and let's see. Reload all. And it's still the same. Maybe my studio is not. I will close it. So let's do it again. I think this is like basically my studio is complaining, but it should not give you these problems, right? Because I did it like 3 times before, and it was like kind of really easy. So and let's give it a try again. Okay, the module is still working. Let's see module web. Oh, okay, now it's working, and yeah, all of them are working. Perfect. So yeah, something happened with the studio. So let's close all the tabs and let's continue the migration. So let's go to the web module. And in here, we're going to do basically the same type of idea. So we're going to stop generating the assembly information and add the NuGet packages. And also in this case, we need a reference to a DLL, which is system web. So I'm going to copy all of this, and I will find the assembly section and I will remove it. I will paste this and I will change the target to 462. And then I need to delete the properties. And let's see. So far, so good. Okay, so we have two projects already. Let's do the third one, which is the Windows one. So again, the same case is you need a reference to a DLL, which is system Windows Forms, because there is no NuGet for that. And then we will add reference to all the NuGet packages for the Windows platform in this case, and we will generate assembly info equals false. So let's copy this. Let's find the assembly section. Let's delete this and let's paste. Then change the target.
It's good to mention, Jose, that we're using here a main demo, but if you have your own NuGet or you have another reference to another library, make sure you don't delete those, or make sure that you actually. And I know that also some all projects are still using package.config, so make sure that you update that one to package reference. And we will show some links after Jose's demo, but I just wanted to, while you are talking about that part, just let that in there.
So in here we have a small error, and this error is because it's the main demo. So it includes some other classes that are not usually there in a XAF application. So what we're going to do for this is just going to comment this out. We don't actually need it. And let's comment this also out. And let's compile. And I think so far so good. Yes. Now let's go to the Win application. So again, it's really repetitive, but let's go and let's do the last part. So
I'm just curious, while you're doing that again, does that tool delete the assembly info? Or you have to delete it manually?
No, you have to delete it manually. So let me copy this. We need basically the Windows Forms reference, and then in here, different than this case, we need the security for XPO. So that's why we have this package also. So let's copy all of this. Let's change the target framework to 462. So it's here the other projects. Let's find the references. Let's delete this one. And let's compile again and let's try to run it. Something.
And Dennis and Alex and sharing some really great links on the chat. So everyone take a look at that, especially that Net 5 is losing support. So
yes, it's going to be
Net 4.5. Sorry, Net 5 is the future between Net 5 and Net 6, but Net 4.5. And I'm glad that they are doing this change because again, so far until now, it has been a mess. Like so many naming: Net Core, Net Standard, Net Framework, 4.5, 3, 3.1, now 5. So it's good that finally it gets standardized.
Let's see, package reference. There is one that is not close.
You need a item group there, Jose. It's outside.
Well, let's copy this and let's put them in an item group. So let's put them here. And let's see. And you were totally right here. So far we have basically, let's see, this is 462. Yes, so all of them are working and the references are basically working. So all the Windows part is basically migrated to SDK. So let's set this as a startup project and let's run it. And let's see, it looks like it's working. Okay, so here we have it. It's working and everything is on SDK type of project. So now let's go to the tricky part. So let me show you some links before this. So the tool doesn't convert web forms application or something that comes from system web. So basically, I found this repository in Nuget. I mean, in GitHub, and they created like an MS build type of SDK for system web. So they show you the instructions here. Basically, you can create an empty project, something like this, and then you add your references and so on and so forth. So we're going to migrate also the ASP.NET Web Forms version to SDK type of project. So for that, since it's kind of long, I already have the file prepared. So is this one here. Let me show it to you before well, let's just copy this over here. Let's see this one and replace. So the idea here is you start with a little simple step, which is, let's double click this. You change the original tag that was Microsoft build to this one. This one will download a NuGet and will basically allow you to change the type of project. So basically what I did is like in the website, they do have examples. So if you go to the examples, then you can see like empty web application. This is the one that you need to use. So you come here and then you get it from here. Basically, you copy all of this and you replace it on your project. So then you need to do a few changes. So the first that we did is put the target framework to 462, and then the references you need to again delete the DLL references and set the NuGet references and then the project references here. And beside that, you're basically good to go. Let's try to compile this and let's see if it's working. So let's see. Okay, so this you need to remove because you don't have the reference. Let's try to compile it again. Okay, it's working. So then what you need to do is like, since the IIS settings are going to change when you change the project type, then you need to go to the global ASACs. And here you will see some code that comes from the demo application. Actually, you will not see that in your regular SAF application. So let's open this. And there is a method set connection string. So what I'm going to do is like take out the in-memory connection string. I'm not going to connect it to the database to make it like faster in this case. And then hold on. And I'm going to comment this out. Okay, then we have to check some stuff. So let's come here to properties and let's go to build. No, sorry, is debug here. And in the profile, let's change to this one to main demo.web, and let's put it to run in IIS. Okay, so far so good. And there is another thing that you need to do in the end, is that when you are going to, when you have to run this, you need to basically tell it, like, let's open the file system. You need to tell this directory that it can be seen by the IIS, basically permissions. So you edit this, you add permissions, and you have to add II user. So let's check name. No, let's advance, fine. And we need basically 2 users here. this one, and this one. And let's okay. Let me remove the first one. Okay, so for this, to make it simple, I will basically add all the permissions possible. The same for this one. And let's try to run this.
Okay, it's good to mention, Jose, that this is not needed to migrate to XAF Blazor. This is just so you can have your whole solution in a good state with the SDK project, with the new thing, so that way you can add nuggets if you don't want to do it just through the CS project. You can do a lot of things right away, so it's good. It's a good tool to have.
Yeah, and well, there is something that I forgot to run, which is the project converter, because this is not exactly the same version that I have installed in my system. So let's go on tools, no extensions, and then run the project converter for version 18, this one. And as Javier said, this is not necessary, but when I realized that it was possible to do, I wanted to give it a try, because I hate to have like everything on SDK and then just the web application in a different structure. So I thought that was not going to work. I tried several approaches to do this till I found that GitHub repository. So just in case, as you want to keep everything in the same type of structure, I would say, as Javier said before.
Nah, so it's also good to mention that the project converter is already working with nuggets. I know that sometimes it misses, but at least that's getting there completely.
So there you have it. Let's log in. And now the part that we want, which is basically
let's add Blazor to this project.
Add Blazor to this project. Yes. So everything is like new and modern. So let's add Blazor, because Blazor is new and modern. So let's add.
And the also great thing about using Nugget also for CI/CD is really nice to be able to just have that one there. We don't have to have in our build server all the DLL from the Express and so on. So we do have to have it in our computer if we want to access the model and things like that. But if we don't care about the model, we don't even need to use that. So if we're like Manuel, that we're using builder layouts and model layouts, so we don't need to have that installed there.
So what we're going to do is we're going to name the project main demo, the same as the main part of the name of this solution. So let's create this. And I will do it net core. And let's run this wizard. And I want to add a ASP.NET Core Blazor application. So let's go next. XPO. I don't want authentication in this case. And let's just finish to make it like faster. And he will have to do some changes actually.
And after you finish your presentation, Jose, I want to talk about the wizard, the new things that we have in there. We have a section for Net Framework. We have a section for Net Core. We have window authentication. We have OAuth. We have a lot of great things there.
Yeah. So let's see. We have Blazor. Yes, we do. So let's close all of these and let's see what things that we need to change here. So basically, we have a problem at the moment. So Blazor was not available for version 18, as I remember, or maybe it was a really different type of application at that moment. So we need to do some changes, and I'm not going to do all of them. I'm just going to do the necessary ones. So let's go to the Blazor module or the Blazor application. It can be any of them. So let's go to this one. So we're using 21.3. So let's copy this and let's go to the module version, to the module project, sorry, and change the version. So this will be 29.3. And there is another change that we need to do. This is targeting net 462. So we need to target actually net standard 2.0.
And here is the point that we were talking about before. So Net Framework doesn't recognize Net Standard 2.1, so it have to be 2.0, and it have to be Net Framework 6+1 plus, so bigger than 6+1.
Yeah, and above.
And Alex put it on the chat that Microsoft is actually recommended 4.7.2.
Yeah, so actually I just do it 4.6.2 because it's the first one that is compatible in general. So now let's see. I think that we will miss something because I remember this will break when you run it. So let's see it and see what happened. So set up the startup project and then let's run this. Oh, it did run the first time. I remember that last time I did something that it breaks. So basically, now the code base from your module, like diagnostic module, module, is basically running in your Blazor application. So we did a complete migration. Basically, we migrate all projects. We started in version 18 actually. We migrated all of them to SDK type of project. Also, the web forms application, we did the same. It's now SDK type of project. Then we added the Blazor module and the Blazor application, and we reference or agnostic module. The only thing that we have to do in that case, we need to upgrade the version of DevExpress because there was no Blazor in version 18. So we put it to the latest version, and then we just did a change in the module that we changed the target framework to net standard. So Blazor can see that assembly. And basically that's it. I mean, this is a complete migration. We did all the projects inside of a XAF application. So if I'm going to publish those little snippet that we use in maybe in GitHub or in my blog, so you can just give it a try if you want to do it in your own application. So that's it for this demo, Javier.
Okay, I take it off from here. One thing that I want to mention as we move forward is it will be really nice if everything that you guys have encountered while using Blazor, everything that you have, like you were migrating and this was not working, you were migrating and you realized that the data source property had an issue or that we are still missing, just please put it on the chat or just unmute yourself. I would love to hear that. And also, again, that will also give Dennis some feedback of what is still really important, what is needed in your project and so on. So one thing to mention, again, this is obsolete because we are moving to, instead of Net Standard 2 to Net 5, but it's still a good article. And if you see right here is the implementation steps in a more manually way. Instead of doing like with the tool that Jose did, right here you see we pretty much create the project and we copy that project SDKs. And you can see here that is pointing to Net Standard 2, and you can see again is adding the package reference with all the nuggets that we need, and so on and so on. Again, if you have other nuggets, you should add the package reference for those other nuggets. If you have embedded resources in your application, make sure you don't forget to add those embedded resources, because again, in the MS build, that's in the CS project there. And you can go and use this example where they actually have that Net Standard 2 platform agnostic that Jose just showed. He showed first moving to the SDK, but when you add Blazor to that recipe, you cannot use 4.6.2, so you have to move to Net Standard. And right here, the other part about the solution wizard that I want to talk about right now. So the first thing is pretty much let's create a new project. And let's gonna create one that is a Net Framework, and let's create one that is actually Blazor. But one thing that is important is before Blazor was shipping only with a template for him, just for Blazor. But now we pretty much have the choice to create WinForms and a Blazor in the same application. So it comes integrated already. So let's wait for a second, and I really like the new template gallery and the new templates that Devilsgrace has. So if you see here from the start, let's call this demo meetup. Hopefully I don't have a name like that. Let's create. So right here, we already have the net core solution, and we have the net framework solution. So right here, we can already see that we can go one way or the other one. Again, we have the visual, the C# or Visual Basic. One thing that is interesting is right now we only have one installer. Before we need to install everything from net framework, and we need to have a separate installer for net core. Right now, everything comes at once. Actually, if you have a more net core, it tells you, hey, please uninstall that one. So let's run the wizard. And right here, we're going to use WinForms and ASP.NET Core, XPO as always, and let's choose authentication. And this is the standard what we're used to, but we also have right now OAuth authentication provider, and we have Windows Active Directories out of the box. That I think that is pretty cool. But let's just focus normal in the standard, and let's just choose few here, like conditional appearance, reports, and let's choose validation. That's it. We don't need too much. And let's wait for it. It will take just a little bit, but I like to do it this way because I like to see what is coming out of the box, what is the best practice that is being created, and then in my old projects, I go and I say, check the difference, and I try to copy from here to there. Because I was telling Jose this, my first idea on how to migrate the old SAF project to the new one will be to create this brand new that already comes with everything I need, and then I will, in my agnostic module, I will copy everything that I have, all my business object, and then I will see all the agnostic controller. All agnostic controller should still work as it works on Windows, as it works on web. And then I will just focus on the platform specific controller. And then I will check, okay, this controller doesn't work yet. This controller, this module is still not there. And then I will start doing those adjustments. But again, you can go that route, but if your solution maybe is too big, you will have to go the other route. So pretty much, if we see this is brand new solution, we haven't done anything. So let's see the project file. Okay, right here in the project file already come with net5. If you see all the package reference that we need, if we see it have to copy the model in the output folder, and you have the reference to the two projects. If you look at this project file in comparison with the CS project of those other MS Build project, this is just nice. You only have here what you need. You have your target framework, you have your nuggets, and you have your project reference. Good to go. You don't need anything else. Okay, now let's see the module. It will be something really similar. We have the target framework, we have our package, and because we're not referencing any project, we don't have that, but that's it. Let's go to the Win version. Same thing. Net framework, net5 for Windows. Again, all my package reference and the project, and nothing else. So what I will do, in my opinion, I will pretty much, let's create another project. Now for the net framework. And if I have an old project, the first thing that I will do is try to move it to a like net framework 6.1, 6.2, 7.4, that 7.2. That way I have it already in a more migrable approach. Perfect. And if you see, even if Blazor is the future, web phone is not being left behind. You still will have it there for your net framework application. So as always, let's continue. Let's choose the same conditional appearance, reports, validation. Finish. Okay, now let's see what we have here. Okay, if you see, we still have the old CS project. We have still that old things. So let's say that I have this project here that I need to, and let's actually run it just to make sure that it creates the database and we have it ready to go. So let me reload it. Build it. My point, if I was doing the migration and I have this net framework, I will create a brand new, like we have in the other one, and I will start copying that SDK directly to my CS project. And that should work perfectly. Then I will check the modules that I already have available for Blazor and the ones that I don't, so I can make sure that those are not giving me any conflict. Let's run it. And right here, I just added the report so we can have a navigation and we can have some boilerplate. Okay. Okay, while that was doing that, we can see that we have the Net5 project already, the brand new, and now we're having the Net framework. So let's come back to the documentation. And by the way, Dennis, here in the documentation, these two point to the same thing. It's just the same link twice. Okay, so right here we have the support for the migration to Net5. So we can see here that what we need to have installed, we need to have the Unix installer, we need the .NET 5 SDK, we need Visual Studio 16.1, and right here it is telling you all the packages that are XAF related that we have available for us. So you know exactly that if you have the scheduler in your application, you know that you need to put that package reference to the nugget of the scheduler. Same thing for Win. So pretty much you have your modules here in a nugget way, so you can add it to your application. And of course, right here, you can see how to port an existing XAF application to Net5. So first thing, as always, copy and save all your CS project files. Just in case you do a complete disaster, you are able to just bring it back real quick. And then let's follow the step. So if you see, we're going to unload all the projects and we're going to replace this SDK with what we need. Let's do that. So I will put it right here. And this will be a fast again. Let's unload. And Jose was more cautious, more, he had more careful. I was just pretty much, I'm going to delete all of this. Actually, let's not get crazy just in case, you know, demo gods are not always on our side. Let's put it here.
You know why I was so careful, Javier? Because it didn't work a few times.
Okay, so let's see. So we're going to put it here on the module. And let's continue. Sorry if my daughter, you can feel her in the back. She's watching Dora and getting excited. Okay, Jose, can you take over for just 2 minutes? Sorry. I'm sorry, guys.
So, guys, any question about the migration? Like, feel free to write it in the chat. And also, today we're going to do a demonstration of the. We still have the audio. So today we're going to do a demonstration of the Sync framework and the new project templates. Basically, I'm going to show you, I will say, a beta version, but this is not how it will look like in the end. Basically, we will prepare all the boilerplate code for you, and we will release also the new XAF extension for the Sync framework. So basically, you just need, you can do the synchronization with the object space. the methods will be attached to the iObject space interface. So that's what we're going to show today. So let's see if we have something else in the chat. No. Okay, guys. So let's wait a little bit for the for Javier to come back and continue with the migration, because I cannot take over his computer at the moment. Otherwise, I will gladly do it. Also, if anyone wants to participate, feel free to open your microphone. Well, yes, and let's see if I can share the screen, because you can use build props for your application. And I guess Adam, I will show that when I do the sync framework demonstration. There is something that we can do to to downgrade all the nodes at the same time.
Hey guys, sorry. Yeah, Boots is in every episode. He's awesome. I working remotely has his good things, but also sometimes like working with my daughter here, sometimes it becomes it's a challenge. It's a good challenge though. Okay, let's continue. So as we were talking about, we just pretty much, we are in the step where we are copying the, this is the, let me get into the, right here, net framework. So right here, let's check the OLCS project just to make sure what are the DLLs that we have. So we have right here a conditional appearance, we have reports, we have a lot of things. So if we come back to the documentation, we can see what are the nuggets that we have to reference. So for example, if we need to nugget reports, we will do right here another package reference where we're going to add the reports. If we need a scheduler, if we need, so pretty much we're going to be doing that for all the reference that we need to have available in our application. So we don't make this too long. Let me see if we have here, what is the exact name of the core.all, Jose was?
Yeah, hold on, let me tell you, the package is, one sec, for the module.
Yeah, for the diagnostic one.
Okay, is Dev Express, Express App, Core All. Yeah.
Perfect. Now let's reload that one and let's see what happens. Perfect. Okay, let's compile. Okay, of course, this is the what we were talking about, Jose. So when we're doing manually, so we need to go to our properties and we already have to just delete the assembly info because that is taken care by us in the new SDK project. So compile. And
so far so good, succeed.
So we will do the same one in the module login, and we are going to unload the project, edit the project file, come back to our documentation, and then we're gonna copy the new one. And if you see, it's really, look how big this is. Right now it's just good to go. And of course, right here we need to change the name of our project. So it will be demo made up net framework. And same here. Demo made up net framework. Perfect. And I don't see they have any package reference, so that's, I think that we need to add that one. So can you send me again now the
for
Windows?
For Win. Okay. One sec. So for Windows is, well, you will have, well, Dev Express, Express App, Win All.
And I saw that there is a question from Alan about downgrade the nugget. So let's try it. After we finish this, let's try to put it back. So let's put this. And let's delete all of this. Express app win, Jose?
Let's see, express app win all. Win.all.
Win.all. Perfect. Okay, let's reload the project, run it. Okay, same thing. We forgot the assembly info every time. And let's compile. Okay, good to go. Now the last one. Come back again to documentation.
Javier, 1 second. Dennis, he dropped from the meeting and he wants to be allowed back.
Yeah, just did it.
Okay.
Okay, so let's continue. Let's go to the last one. Load. Right here, we're going to come back to the. And the good thing after you do that, it's so easy to go and check your CS project, what is going on there and so on. It's just beautiful. Let's come back to here. Right here will be. Load. Win. Perfect. And again. So right here, we're pretty much adding reference to the two projects, to the agnostic and to the platform specific. So let's reload. Delete the assembly info so I don't forget this time.
Well, during the last project, you always remember, right? The last one.
Okay, so there are a namespace. So in this one, we need to add the Express app XPO, if I'm not mistaken. So let's do that.
There are a few, Javier. I will send it in WhatsApp if you want, just in case to have it on hand. So let's see, win application. So, okay, so let's see WhatsApp.
In the meantime, I will do something that I want to do. I'm gonna go to this demo meetup too. And pretty much, I'm gonna copy the Blazor server and the Blazor application. I'm gonna come here while Jose send me that.
It's already there.
Perfect. I'm gonna paste. And actually, let's do a new one so we don't change the name of anything, just in case right now, because we don't have the same name, it will be. Okay, so let's see. Okay, now right here, we're going to add another item group. And right here, we're going to change to 21.1.4. So we'll check guys this, yeah. Okay, let's do it again. Okay, we need to finish reading the documentation. So if you see here, we should comment this edit model permission on the main. So let's come back to our project. And let's comment that one. Let's see what we have. What else do we have in the documentation? We should add this for the, instead of the system diagnostic for the tracer. And if you're using Easy Test, you should add this as well in your CS project. And you should also add the default setting compatibility mode. So let's come back to our program. And we already have it there because this is a new solution. But if it was an old one, we should have that. So let's build now. And let's see. And it succeed. So this was the way to show how we can move from a Net framework application to a Net 5. So if we already have a Net 5, we're good to go to create our Blazor app from here. So now let's create a new folder. So we don't want to and in this folder, we're going to create the new Blazor project. So I have the same name and we don't have to change that one. So and I agree completely with Alex. It will be nice that the template by default it comes in the SDK format, so we don't have to do all of those, even if it's Net framework.
Yeah, but in that case, Javier, the problem will be that a lot of people have old solutions that are already, that, I mean, you try to maintain and don't change that much. So it will be good, as you said.
But I agree, but isn't like the template side for new projects. So if you are creating a new project, where will you, maybe I'm not seeing it. So, okay, let's here. No, copy the name. So let's demo meetup Net framework. So we have the same name exactly. And let's change the to this folder so it doesn't. Okay, netcore solute choose. And in this case, we're gonna do only Blazor standard, and we're going to use again the same conditional appearance, reports, and validation. And if you see that the list of modules on that wizard is growing, before when it started was just a few, and now we are getting more and more. So Blazor is getting developed fast, and it's looking awesome. Okay, let's open File Explorer, and just pretty much I will copy the Blazor server and the module.blazor. And let's take it to our solution, demo meetup Net framework. Paste it there. And let's come back to our application. So right here now, we're gonna add a 16 project. And we're gonna select the module.blazor. And we're going to select the Blazor server. Now let's try to compile and see what's going on, because it has the same name. It should detect the path of the diagnostic module, but maybe it doesn't. Let me see. Let's double check what I'm missing here. So we're missing the reference to the module and to the module Blazor. And let's go to the Blazor one and add a reference. To the module. Okay, let's try this again. Finger crossed, that should work. And if it does, pretty much we already have our application, because right here there is nothing, but we can add just a business class real quick, and we should be able to see it in Windows. We should be able to see it in Blazor. So let's add a new anything, just domain object one. I don't know if you guys are already using the new shortcuts for XAF. They are awesome. Description. That's it. Okay, let's run Windows and then let's run Blazor. And you will see that we already have our Net Framework application converted to Net 5, and we already added a Blazor project. So pretty much we're good to go. Besides that, it's just checking our personal or own implementation. We're going to check the models that we're using. We're going to check if we're using a third-party NuGet. We're going to check everything else. But pretty much we'll be good to go there. Did it fail? What happened? Let's see. Okay, what is trying? That's because we didn't put that setting on the, yeah. So let's comment this for a second, so we don't have to add it back. That happens when you don't read the documentation completely and you don't follow. We should have had this in our web config. Let's see what's going on. Them words are not helping me. Let me go and add it just in case. App settings, we're gonna add the key. And we're gonna delete the system diagnostic. Okay, and system diagnostic, where you are. Okay, let's try again. It's coming. They say that 3 hours of trial and error will save you 5 minutes of reading the documentation. So I wanted to just not do that, and my mistake. Okay, now it's creating the database and doing everything that we know. And as soon as that's done, we can see that we have, okay, we pretty much, let's see, we are missing domain object one. So that means that we don't have that one. Let's see. We have the file class option. So why didn't put it on the exported type? Domain object one. Let's run it again. So Alex, I believe that if you have like a legacy app, you will actually test it a lot before moving to Net 5. But there are so many benefits of just moving to Net 5 regarding performance, regarding new features that are coming on, regarding new language of C#, regarding new things that is definitely something to think of. So we have domain object 1 here. So again, we can create one. Doesn't matter. Good to go. Now let's run Blazor, and finger crossed this should work, and we are good to go. So if you guys have any question about the migration, if you guys have run into any issue, please just unmute your mic, just put it in the chat, and we can discuss it there. We can make this more interactive. Okay, it's coming. Getting there. New beautiful shiny UI for XAF. And again, the great thing about this, like every way of developing in XAF is still maintained. So if you develop everything in an agnostic way, the migration should be fairly simple. And here we go. Domain object 1. We have our record. We have our application in Windows and in Blazor, and good to go. Right now, again, we can use the wizard, but if you already have one, just move it to Net Standard. Just move it to Net 5. Move it to Net 5. Actually, that would be my recommendation, and then integrate the XAF Blazor application. You're good to go.